Hi, and welcome to the Handbag Designer 101 podcast with your host, Emily Blumenthal, handbag designer expert and handbag fairy godmother, where we cover everything about handbags from making, marketing, designing, and talking to handbag designers and industry experts about what it takes to make a successful handbag. Welcome, Maria Gabriela 𝐾𝐞𝐬𝐢𝐠𝐧𝐞𝐫 of MAR Gabi Designs. Welcome to the Handbag Designer 101 podcast.
Thank you. How are you, Emily?
I am so happy to have you all the way from Venezuela to Miami now, right?
Yeah. Yes, I'm in Miami right now, Florida.
Oh my God. But when we met, you were still very much in Venezuela.
Yes. 2 years ago?
No, but that was the second time. The first time was like at least 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, back in 2017.
17 or 16, I think. That's crazy. So how long have you been doing this? How long have you been making handbags? Because your story is such a wild one.
I think I lost count. More than 10 years now. I've been doing this first as a hobby, but now it's my full-time job. So it's a bit late.
When you started, how old was your daughter? She was tiny, right?
Well, actually, when I started, she was not in the picture yet.
She was invisible.
Yeah.
So that's what we say. She wasn't born yet.
Yeah.
So what were you doing as a job before that?
I was at college back then.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I started making handbags because I wanted to have special bags to carry to school, something cool, something different, because I didn't find any, I don't know.
Nothing spoke to you.
Yeah, those regular backpacks seemed so boring, so I wanted to have something that could match my personality. And that's when my mom told me, I think that's not so difficult to do. We can try. We can buy some fabrics and try to make something that you like. And that's pretty much when...
So did she teach you how to sew, or did you learn by you taught yourself?
No, she told me how to sew, but...
Did you have a machine, like, in the house? Because to sew those kinds of materials, it's like you pretty much need an industrial machine, right?
Yeah, but I did what I could with we have a domestic, like, machines,
right?
The small ones that everyone can have. And I didn't use leather or...
So you used some sort of... You used a fabric of some description.
Just fabrics as canvas or nothing too heavy.
Right.
And it was easier to sew with the machine. Then was to the industrial ones, but few later then.
Did you save money to buy the industrial machine when you started? Was it one of these stories where, like, you made a bag and then people were like, hey, where did you get that bag? And then it turned into like, uh-oh, maybe I'll make one for a friend. Maybe I'll make one. And then you came home and said, Mom, guess what happened? And then you're like, let me just make one as a favor. Was it one of those stories?
Yes, exactly like that. Because I didn't know that could be a business. I just wanted to have a bunch of bags for myself. And I use a different one each day.
Right.
And that's when my mates noticed, you have a different bag yesterday and you have a different one today. And, you can make that bag. I want maybe a black one. Can you do something like that with longer straps? Or can you add this or that? And when everything started.
What was it like, though? Like, living in Venezuela at this time, were you thinking big? Were you like, okay, I'm just a university student? Were you like, one day I need to get out of here? Or was it like, this is my life. I'm going to stay in Venezuela. That's it. This is my story.
Yeah, back then, I didn't have plans to leave Venezuela back then. I just want to finish college. And this handbag side hustle was just for saving money. And not just for saving, for my personal, how will I say?
It was like an outlet for you to do something creative.
Yeah, exactly. But I never took that seriously. My plan was finish college and find a job. And I don't know, maybe, of course, the situation in Venezuela was getting tough and tough. And that's when I decided to go with my business just to see how far could that lead me.
So for people who don't know, what was going on in Venezuela and how was it affecting you personally?
Well, the thing is that find a job wasn't so easy because of the lower rates, and that pretty much forced people to find another source of income.
Because no one could get a job because they kept lowering how much people could earn.
Yeah.
Because of the government.
Because of the government, yes. Entonces, it was easier to sell
your own stuff.
Yeah. And professionals aren't appreciated there.
Yeah.
That's why I never had to work as an engineer. I never had that chance, actually. I got my degree, of course, but I never had the chance to really work as an engineer.
What kind of engineering?
It's electronic engineer.
Well, I mean, education, at least in that regard, did probably show you, there's definitely something to be said about what you're learning and how you can implement that into something creative, like how things work and identifying the why and designing into what the problem is. Because a lot of people who come from the creative side get so fixed on the creative angle that they forget that whatever you make, number one, needs to be bought. It needs to be sold. People need to come back, but it needs to fulfill a function.
Yes, of course. And everybody asks me that. How is that you are an engineer making handbags? And I don't know. I always had that creative part inside of me. But I do think that engineering was a key element to learn how to make patterns, how to construct the actual construction of the bag,
to reverse engineer, to work backwards.
Exactly. Yeah. I think it pretty much helped with that specific part, how to really make the bag itself. Because I didn't take any course I didn't go to a fashion school or something.
Right.
I had to self-taught.
Right. That's good because, it can get really frustrating trying to figure out, even using a sewing machine, between different materials and how things work differently with different needles, different threads, what can hold. I mean, that's science. So many people discount that whole side of creating something. But so at this point, you had a daughter, she was little, and now you're making handbags full time.
Yes, I was making back full time, and I already had my own studio, and everything was going pretty well. Actually, when I traveled to New York for the Handbag Award, I think that was the moment when I told myself, I think I can make this for a living. Because before that, it was still kind of side hustle.
Right.
Yeah. I have to thank you for that. Yeah. Because pretty much of the main reason why I'm doing this is because of the Handbag Awards.
That's wonderful. Oh, that's so great to hear. If we circle back to 2020, the bag that you made that you ended up winning, I know you got a lot of mileage out of that bag.
Yeah.
Because clearly it became, I think, what is your anchor piece for your brand.
Yes.
And I know you were able to reuse it for another competition.
Yeah. And I have redesigned the bag a few
changes.
So that mini bag is my, como digo, amuleto.
Your
something.
Yeah, it's
the one, my lucky charms. When you
wow. That's amazing. That bag has taken you from one country to another, didn't it?
Yeah. Super special. Super special.
So talk a little bit about, you have this business, you have a small child. When did you realize that, okay, I need to get out of Venezuela. I need to move to the US.
Okay.
How can I do that? Because I know, and just as a side note, I write visa letters for so many designers. Like, I can't even tell you. I just did one and they all come through the Handbag Awards, or I've worked with them one way or another, because I'm the last stop that they have before they come into the country. So, and any handbag designer of mine, I will, of course, support and make sure, because that's, we need more people like that who are self-motivated, have their own point of view, have DNA, and really are, if you're coming into, especially this country, you have to be ready to put everything in. Like, it's like, that's it. I'm all in. All my chips my cards are on the table. Like, I'm going for it. So if that's going to come, I'm going to be the first one to say, like, I'm here for it. I'm here to support you. Let me know what you need. So at what moment were you like, okay, because I know it was during the pandemic that you moved. Like, how did all this happen? And were you terrified? And how did you know that you could continue this handbag line now that you were then out of Venezuela and now in the US, which is a totally different market? If you ever wanted to start a handbag line and didn't know where to start, this is for you.
Living proof that independent designers can make it big.
Emily Blumenthal is one prime example.
If you had dreams of becoming a handbag designer and didn't know where to start, this is for you. If you have a handbag brand and are in need of strategy and direction, this is for you. I'm Emily Blumenthal, handbag fairy godmother and handbag designer expert, and this is Handbag Designer 101, the masterclass. Over the next 10 classes, I will break down everything you need to know how to make, market, and manufacture a handbag. Broken down for you that you'll not only skip steps in that handbag building process, but also save money in that learning curve. For the past 20 years, I've been teaching at the top fashion universities in New York City, created the Handbag Awards, and also the Handbag Designer 101 podcast. I'm going to show you, like I have countless brands, from sketch to sample to shelf, whether you're just starting out and don't know where to begin, or even if you have a handbag line and just need some strategic direction, the Handbag Designer 101 Masterclass is just for you. So let's get started, and you will be the creator of the next it bag. Join me, Emily Blumenthal, with the Handbag Designer 101 Masterclass.
Yes, like you said, that was first because of the pandemic. The business back there was pretty slow because of that. People wasn't buying bags.
Handbags took a hit.
For sure. And things were, I have employees, and I have to say goodbye to them. And that was when I told myself, I think I would say a leap of faith, because my brother was the one who took more.
He came first?
Yeah. He was there before. And I spoke with him, and he was pretty supportive.
Was it your idea to leave, or was he like, that's it, you got to get out of there, like, enough already?
No, it was my idea. And then I speak with him because I needed someone that could recibirme. I think it's
sponsor you, bring you in. Yeah.
Exactly. And I was selling on Etsy when I was in Venezuela, and I was taking a lot of international orders.
From Venezuela,
right? Shipping to a lot of countries, and I thought it would be a lot easier to ship from US, of course. And I already switched from Venezuelan clients to international clients. So I think that was the reason what I thought maybe this could be easier from the US. And that was because of Etsy back then. Right. And I sold everything in Venezuela, and I took those savings. And
what was going on there?
When I got here, I probably had like $1,000 to invest again from scratch all over again.
when you moved?
When I moved.
What did you say to your daughter? Were you like, okay, that's it, we're moving? And what were her thoughts?
That was the hard part because she didn't want to come, actually, at first, of course. But she kind of understood the reason because the schools were closed. So I think that was...
Like, if you're going to be home, you might as well, let's find you a new home and start over.
Yeah, I was scared for her too because I want her to have a better education, and she almost lost a year because of the pandemic,
Right.
Venezuela.
Right.
But she's already, como digo, adaptada.
She's already adapted. She's well in.
She's adapted, yeah.
What is she in, 5th grade, 6th grade?
Right. She's started middle school, right?
Wow. What a difference. That's crazy. So you moved here and you had to start over from scratch, basically.
Started over.
Was that terrifying, or you were like, that's it, this is the time to do it?
No, I was super terrified. I bought a sewing machine, domestic machine, again, because I already have the industrial ones in Venezuela, so I had to
start over. Yeah.
Start over.
Did you buy one or rent one?
No, I bought one, but something used, not a new one.
Right.
I switched materials. That's when I decided to go with this cactus leather I'm using right now. And I have to learn how to work with this new leather.
Right.
It took me a while, but...
Why? What's the difference in the materials? Does it not hold? Do you need because you're using the cactus leather, what's the brand called?
Deserto.
Right. So it's the prickly pear cactus. Nogalo. Nopal. Right. I'm just making things up right now. So each material functions differently in terms of function, in terms of the structure. It's a whole new, it's like learning to cook with a different kind of food entirely.
Yes, exactly. Because the one I was using in Venezuela was more sturdy, more structure. This is totally different. This need a lot of support. I had to redesign everything because nothing works the way I used to work with the older leather.
Right.
So, but I really liked it, but because it looks like real leather on the outside.
Right.
So I really like working with. And Deserto is one of the few suppliers that can sell from 1 yard to 10 yards.
Right.
That didn't have to buy a bunch of yards to make bags. So
their MOQs could work with someone like this.
Yeah, they're small business friendly because I understand that.
Right. So at this point, you started over. Did you mainly sell just on Etsy? Was that, and then you were like, okay, let me see how this goes, because you had to start somewhere.
Yes, I started on Etsy, but a lot of friends and family here started to know in my products.
Mm-hmm.
And that was cool because at some point I was selling more offline than online. Yeah.
Wow. So
that takes a while, of course.
Yeah, of course. So at this point, you saw this Etsy competition, you submitted, you ended up winning with this Lucky Charm bag that we all collectively know so well. I'm sure that has been a huge turnover for your business, like a huge, okay, we're at a totally different level at this point.
A huge because I was actually losing faith last year. I had took a job, of course, because I had to pay my bills.
What were you doing?
I was working as an assistant for a fashion designer, actually. Just cutting fabrics, making crafts, sewing, stuff like that, as a part-time job, because I always wanted to have time for my daughter too.
Right.
So I couldn't take a full-time job.
Right.
So I was doing part-time, and the rest of the day working on my bags and stuff.
Right.
Then the Etsy Awards came, and oh my God, I never thought I could wait for that thing. Never thought that. And I wasn't prepared at all because, like I said, I was losing.
Are you? Because you were still making all the bags yourself, right?
Yeah, of course. And that's when I called my sister, and I need you because my sister is still in Venezuela.
Right.
She traveled back and forth, but she's there. And I have to call her, and my mom came with her to help me. And I'm hiring people because...
Did you quit the part-time job?
Yeah, immediately. like the week after that, because I couldn't keep up with anything. And I'm still
navigating
what to do. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out. It has been very exciting, but very overwhelming too.
Right. Yeah. It's like, be careful what you wish for kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what my sister told me.
Right.
You asked for that. Now you have to face it. But it's hard because it's something I wasn't expecting.
Right. So what's next now that you have all this, there's a lot of demand. How are you looking and thinking to scale, like to do this from where you are to making this into something considerably bigger because you have this opportunity right now?
Yes, and I don't want to lose this opportunity.
Because they come quick and they disappear just as fast.
Yes, that gives me a little of anxiety because of thinking that I have to take advantage of this moment. And I'm actually living with my brother, but I had to find a place for myself because the house is a mess with the
fabrics and materials. Yeah.
It's crazy. So I'm actually moving next week to a bigger place. I have one person helping me and another one coming next week when I have the other place.
Are you still including handwritten thank yous?
Yes. The shorter ones because you are thank you.
Yep.
Very hard, but especially on Etsy, people appreciate those.
Yeah, of course,
details. So I
think they appreciate them everywhere. So, wow,
I have to do it no matter what. And
the
hardest part of all of this has been talking with every single customer.
Yeah,
and make them understand why this piece is handmade and why it's taking so long to being.
But that's why you should do the video updates of how they're being made. And the more you educate the customer is that you can just send links like, here's the update on what's going on with your bag. Yeah. And you show, here's a link to the video. Hi, this is where your bag is right now and all your bags. Thank you for supporting me. So this way you can keep this dialogue going.
I have to do that every single morning, like at least 2 hours just to talk with them and like you said, taking pictures. And some days I don't have time for social media. So I do my best trying to do everything.
Hire your daughter if you can. I recommend it.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. Oh my gosh. Well, listen, we are here to support you anyway. I am so excited that I was able to personally get to know you and can say I knew you way back when and there. How can we follow you, get more bags, and see the wild growth of MAR Gabi Designs?
Well, you can follow me and this crazy journey on MAR Gabi Design on Instagram. And you can see my shop on Etsy. It's MAR Gabi Designs. And we'll be happy to see you all there. Any advice you have, I would be pretty happy to talk with other designers. And thanks to you, we have a pretty community. And they have all been very supportive.
Well, I am... Like I said, when I see talent, I'm here to support it and watch it grow. So Thank you so much for being part of the Handbag Designer 101 podcast. And we're here to see how you grow. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to rate and review and follow us on every single platform at Handbag Designer. Thanks so much. See you next time.